Hey yo, part 2, AI and jadakiss presenting the A6 from the wrist. Could tell it's a straight switch. Now I'm the problem, and he's the answer. Soon as you try to guard up, you ain't got a chance to stop it. Any given time, he could pop it. The Reebok A6 is hot, go cop it.
For 2K3, I rock the A6, my new kicks. Take a few hits, it ain't nothing, I'm used to it. Trying to build a team, I'm the player you need. Hard like Willis Reed, top thief and score in the league.
There's no way to disguise your dream. Besides family, the only thing on his mind now is a ring. He got love for the game. His start was huge, and you seen him play hurt cause his heart is huge. 6 feet, 165, call ISO. Anytime he wanted, split your 5. Play to win, he don't play for stats. Brought the hood to the game, and they love him for the braids and tats. Yeah, track masters, AI and jadakiss. Make sure you go out and get a pair of the A6.
Allen Iverson is truly one of the most beloved, influential, and greatest basketball players of all time. The man had everything: the ability to score, killer crossovers, flashy style, etc. Michael Jordan, depending on who you ask, is the greatest player of all time. But Allen Iverson, in comparison to a lot of NBA greats, was far more relatable to a lot of people. He was relatable with his size and also his style and fashion, being very reminiscent of hip-hop and street culture at the time. NBA players of the past were showing up to league activities in suits and ties, while Allen Iverson showed up in big chains and baggy clothes. This would play a part in the NBA changing their dress code in 2005, with the at the time NBA commissioner saying that it was really over Steve Nash, but we all know that that is big cap. Like, big cap. To some people, Allen Iverson was a controversial figure, but when Allen Iverson tried his hand at being a rapper, it got so controversial that his whole rap career was shut down. This is why I'm here today to tell you the story of Allen Iverson's controversial rap career. Before I get more into the video, I would first like to thank you guys for coming to see this, because you guys can be doing a million other things right now, but instead you're here with me, and I appreciate that. If you guys like the content, you guys should like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Also, follow my Instagram too. That would be greatly appreciated. You guys can always reach out and just show me some love. It's all good. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from. Represent where you're from, especially if you're from Philly or VA. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
You know, a lot of people like, man, AI coming out with an album, he can't be doodle. If he garbage, then it's just not gonna seem real. You know, a lot of basketball players did it. I'm not calling no names. I mean, I respect all of them for everything they've done, but a lot of people say a lot of basketball players that do it mess the game up because they didn't do it the right way. You know, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to catch a lot of beef with the media as far as things I say, how I say it, and just by it being hardcore street, I'm going to catch a lot of beef with it. But the real people, the hardcore people from the streets, they're gonna love it, and them the only people that I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to reach and the people that's real.
If you're watching this, I'm pretty sure people have heard the phrase, rappers want to be ball players and ball players want to be rappers. This phrase couldn't be anything further from the truth, because we've seen so many different examples of this throughout history. We've seen people like Shaq go platinum and gold in the 90s with his first 2 albums. Shaq released Shaq Diesel in October of 1993, which as of today is platinum, and he also released Shaq Fu, The Return, in November of 1994, which as of today is gold. Kobe Bryant made a rap album back in the day, which I actually covered in the second volume of my Lost/Found Rap Media series, which you should definitely go check out that volume and the whole series while you're at it. I'll put a link in the description for you guys. But just like Allen Iverson's album, which this video was about, it ultimately never came out, but it was for entirely different reasons, which I covered in the Lost/Found Rap Media video. I noticed when people talk about Allen Iverson's rap career, they normally start around 2000 or 2001, but Allen Iverson had been laying verses for years before that. One of the early tracks I managed to find was when Allen Iverson was on a record with Mase, and Huddy Combs. This was sometime in 1998, and I'm about to play a clip of Allen Iverson's part.
The answer, do mad dirt. Won't hesitate to put in work. Verbal hair trigger, wet you up, nigga. Let's see your figures. Is this all you got in your little bank account? Entrepot, nigga, bounce. Come back with a much larger amount, and I'll still stop your bank and whatever you got in it. As soon as I win it, I spin it.
So yes, this is Allen Iverson in 1998, and I don't think AI is half bad at all, but he would get better as we will see. I've actually seen people say that AI's verse in this song is a shot at Jay-Z. I kind of forgot that there was like this underlying friction between Jay and Allen Iverson until I did this video. Some people already know that years later in 2001, during the beef between Jay-Z and Nas, that Jay would bring up AI in the song Super Ugly, where basically Jay said that both him and AI had relations with Nas's baby mother. This was actually true, but AI of course didn't like how Jay was putting his business out in the street, and according to Nas's baby mother Carmen, Allen Iverson actually pulled up on Jay-Z in a club over this. But back to the story, and out of all of the NBA players who have attempted to rap, I really think that AI is up there with the best of them. He had this really interesting spoken word type delivery to his style, and I think with more experience he would have definitely developed more. Here's another clip of AI rapping.
Why try to stop me? Cops wanna knock me. Chickens let it gobble me up. Jewels stay trump. Wrong things leave you slumped. Don't be a tester, only leads to failures. Rappers think they're greater because the closet's full of gators. Say the drama, lyrical bomber. Take your style to the trauma center. Dismember crews any battle I enter. Relentless on tracks like I do ball courts. Step up to get lost, your little bank can't floss. Some thought I couldn't do it, verbals rougher than truants. In a single cell, haters want me to rot in jail. Sorry, came back nice on them, larger than life, want no trouble. Maxed out like Texas T with a Remy double.
What's interesting is that in an interview, Allen Iverson said that he did a bonus track for the Harlem World album. Now, at first, I thought that AI was talking about Mase's debut album, Harlem World, which dropped in October of 1997, but Mase also had a group called Harlem World, in which their debut album dropped in March of 1999. It definitely makes sense that AI is probably referring to the Harlem World group, because in the same interview, AI was promoting his shoe, The Answer 2s, which released in I think 1999, I believe. But by this point of doing this interview in 1999, Allen Iverson said that he had started working on his album and wanted a rap legend on it. This rap legend would be Kool G Rap, and AI said that he was doing a radio interview in New York and was asked about some of his favorite rappers growing up, and one of them was Kool G Rap. Not even 5 minutes later, his manager called him and asked if they wanted to work together, and AI was down to do it. Allen Iverson was rapping when he was growing up, but now he felt like with his fame from basketball, he felt like he had a good opportunity to get his own record label and do it how he wanted to do it. He didn't want people to look at him as a basketball player rhyming, and instead wanted people to look at him as an MC. This was very important to him because he wanted people to buy his album off of the strength of his skills on the mic rather than people liking him for his basketball talent. The story goes that Allen Iverson would ink a deal with Universal Records at the turn of the century, and he would also drop the single 40 bars under the moniker Jules, and this got him into some hot water, especially with the NBA. If you separate Allen Iverson from the lyrics as one of the most popular NBA players at the time, then the rap lyrics in this song would fit right into the era of the late 90s, early 2000s. But that's the thing though, because unlike a rapper, Allen Iverson was one of the most popular NBA players out there and was representing a whole league that was very against the stuff that he was rapping about. By the year 2000, Allen Iverson was on the cover of the first 2K game in the historic franchise, having Rookie of the Year in 1997, was All-NBA First Team in 1999, the youngest player in NBA history to score 50 points in a game, became an NBA All-Star in the year 2000, along with plenty, when I mean plenty of other accomplishments and accolades for that time. Also, Allen Iverson did become the MVP of the NBA for the 2000 and 2001 season, and he got that honor in 2001, so yes, I thought that should be added to the story. If you haven't heard the 40 Bar song, you can easily look it up on YouTube, but the lyrics were deemed by the media as violent, misogynistic, and homophobic. There is a video that I've done on my channel where I talk about rap albums that never came out, and Allen Iverson's rap album that never came out, I briefly touched on it in that video. And in that video, I said that AI can definitely rhyme, but it's definitely like still kind of weird when you hear AI rapping about people sleeping where the maggots be and how he knows killers and much more. I understand that AI, along with many NBA players, come from the streets, and that isn't like what I'm saying when I'm talking about like me feeling that it's weird. But here's what the then commissioner of the NBA, which was David Stern, had to say about Allen Iverson. The lyrics that have been attributed to Allen Iverson's soon-to-be released rap CD are coarse, offensive, and antisocial. Whatever constitutional rights of free speech an individual may have, there is no constitutional right to participate in the NBA, and I have the power to disqualify players who engage in offensive conduct, including inappropriate speech. Allen Iverson has done a disservice to himself, the Philadelphia 76ers, his teammates, and perhaps all of the NBA. A Philadelphia radio station began playing an edited version of the song 40 Bars, which led to people picketing the radio station. They wanted the radio station to stop playing the song. The general manager of the station would say that the lyrics that people were attacking didn't even appear in the version that the station played. Their edited version replaced potentially offensive words with sound effects. He would also say that the youth and people in hip-hop don't take these words literally, and these people are taking their opinions and overlaying them on a culture they don't even understand. The general manager of the station also brought up a good point about Allen Iverson by saying that if he doesn't change the lyrics, he could get suspended by the NBA, but if he does change the lyrics, then he's lame in the eyes of the hip-hop community because he obviously, changed the lyrics. But also, it should be noted that at this time, David Stern didn't discipline AI in any way. So this put Allen Iverson in a tough position because at first, he said that he wasn't going to change the lyrics, but ultimately, he would then go on to meet with David Stern and various civil rights leaders in October of 2000 ahead of the planned 2001 release of his album and agreed to change some of the more offensive lyrics on his album. David Stern said that if he didn't follow through on that commitment, then he, along with the 76ers and the NBA, will merit whatever criticism may be leveled at them. At this time, Universal Records didn't give comment on the situation, and AI would apologize for his lyrics. If individuals of the gay community and women of the world are offended by any of the material in my upcoming album, let the record show that I wish to extend a profound apology. If a kid thinks that I promote violence by the lyrics of my songs, I beg them not to buy it or listen to it. I want kids to dream and to develop new dreams. I lived in the projects all of my life before the NBA, and I witnessed sex, violence, and drugs on a daily basis. It is entertainment and art form that does not follow the typical rules of the English language. Something else that Allen Iverson would do was retitle his album from Non-Fiction to Misunderstood. He was clearly stating what the album was in the title originally, but both titles fit in my opinion because he was stating that the album was non-fiction and then he felt very misunderstood with what he was trying to do. The legendary film director Spike Lee at this time even said that he loves Allen Iverson's basketball talent but referred to his type of rap as a quote-unquote 21st century minstrel show. People were also protesting AI outside of the, at the time, First Union Center before a 76ers preseason game. But ultimately, Allen Iverson said that he was burned out by the controversy surrounding the album and ultimately scrapped it. By the end of 2001, he announced that he was done rapping, and this would pretty much put an end to Allen Iverson's short but controversial rap career. In the media, there were a lot of people going against AI, but there were people who did stick up for him, with two such people actually being Kobe and Shaq. They said that they didn't necessarily agree with the lyrics, but they did defend his right to free speech. It's really interesting that this happened because I've seen people say that AI actually took a shot at Shaq on 40 Bars because of the line, "You went platinum with the Ghost Rider." While doing research, I found an interview Allen Iverson did in 2004 with Too Raw for the Streets, and he did say that he was done with his rap career, but he was going to live it through his crew in which he was trying to put on. One of the guys in the video is Ty Gracie, who I think signed to Allen Iverson, claimed that him and AI shared similar backgrounds due to their Virginia upbringing. And I'm pretty sure that Allen Iverson's crew was the Dynasty Raiders. I'm pretty sure that that was the name of his crew, like at least like during like the 40 bar days. But now in 2010, the project Allen Iverson presents Ty Gracie and Crew Thick Misunderstood, the unreleased Allen Iverson album, was released to the public. From my personal understanding, this is a Ty Gracie album and not an Allen Iverson album, but AI does appear on tracks like 40 Bars, obviously, and on VA Ain't for Lovers. I don't think that this was like the legit album that we were supposed to get back in 2001. But throughout the years, AI has been involved with rap and the hip hop culture. One of the things to mention was his commercials with Jadakiss promoting his shoes. AI actually rapped in the commercial for the A6 Allen Iverson shoe, which is the one that I played in the beginning of this video. But Jadakiss has said that he's glad that the NBA stopped Allen Iverson's album from coming out at the time because he had so much success as a basketball player that he didn't need that type of negative light on him from his raps. Allen Iverson was also getting scrutinized through the media his whole career, but AI in interviews has talked about the scrutiny that he faced before his album, him going to jail at 17, getting caught with weed, pleading guilty to a class 1 misdemeanor charge of carrying a weapon, etc. So the controversy of this rap album just added fuel to the fire, especially since AI felt like the media was just there to judge him and not understand where he was coming from. Years later, Allen Iverson had this to say about his rap album. I felt like I was able to do something like that when I wasn't. I was too big, obviously, to do something like that. Looking back on it, it's embarrassing when I think about all the kids that could have ended up hearing all the things that I was saying and portraying someone that obviously I'm not, because it was gangster rap and I'm not a gangster. I thought it was an art form, just like you see Bruce Willis killing people in movies. Well, he didn't do that in real life. I think everybody took it the wrong way, but the right way, with the people knowing the impact I had on kids, and I'm proud and happy looking back on it that it didn't get released. It's really crazy when you sit back and see how things were back then and how things are now, especially with the NBA. Allen Iverson was criticized for things like his apparel and how he conducted himself. The NBA would enforce a dress code, and now the NBA is a lot more relaxed, and we be seeing some ridiculous outfits. Like, we be seeing some crazy outfits in the modern NBA. Allen Iverson was criticized for his raps, but now we got NBA players rapping about sipping lean and doing drugs, rapping about having guns and shooting people, etc. But like I said, like, you know what I mean, Allen Iverson during his time, this, you know, he was just brought up in a different time. Like, NBA was just completely different back then. It's just so crazy to me how relaxed things have gotten throughout the years. But all in all, let me know what you thought of this video, like in the comment section below, and if the Allen Iverson rap album should have released or not. I love you guys with all my heart. Peace.